and uncensored.
David Viscott, and it's live, and I have missed you people. I really have. And this is an opportunity to let you know that it's September 26th, right? I couldn't fake that. You know this is not a repeat, and you know things are real here, and that means you can call in at any time. And I want you to meet someone. I want you to meet Dottie Archibald. Hi, Dottie.
Hi, David.
Dottie has been my producer for, what, 18 months?
Yes.
And has always done all of this hidden, and now the show's going to be different.
Well, it's going to be different for you because instead of just coming out and harassing you during the commercials, I'll be able to harass you all the time.
Well, I'm going to try to figure out whether that's a good thing or not. We'll see if that works or not. But, no, it'll give another view of the program. People are going to be able to see what happens behind the scenes, too.
Right. I think we'll have a camera. We're going to try having a camera following me around and watching how we screen the calls and do all that stuff, and it might be more interesting for people to see what's going on.
Take people backstage in television land. But great looking calls tonight.
Yeah, very exciting. So you want to take the first call?
Yeah, let's go right to it.
Okay, we have on line 10, we have Tori, and she has quite a lot of difference in age between her and her relationship.
Tori. Tori. Tori?
Yes.
Good. You don't know how relieved I am to have the first call not be a technical screw-up. How old are you, Tori?
28.
Tell me what's going on.
Well, I'm seeing a 16-year-old.
Tell me about that, how it started, and what this all means.
Well, we were just friends, and we don't know what happened. We just got closer and closer.
When did this relationship start, the friendship?
Approximately June, July.
And what was going on in your life then? Was there anything changed or different?
No, I moved. That's about it.
From where to where?
From around the corner to where I'm at now.
But why did you move? Was that did something happen in were you in a previous relationship?
No, I was just living with some roommates, and I moved out.
For what reason?
Because they asked me to.
And they asked you to because?
They needed their privacy.
And is that an excuse, or were they kicking you out for other reasons? Just be straight about it.
Actually, I don't know. That's what I was told.
All right, but you have some suspicions that maybe they didn't like you.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, so there's a sense of rejection that could have occurred at this time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, did you feel that?
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
I've been friends with one of them for like 8 years, so I kind of know how she works.
All right, so it was a rather significant rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just bringing it up to the surface. So here you are feeling rejected and maybe a little lonely?
Not really.
What were you feeling? A little rejected. How could you not feel lonely, since being rejected is the state of being separated?
Yeah.
So you must have had a little loneliness.
Okay, maybe a little.
Oh, you're going to be work for me, huh? Okay. And then you moved into new surroundings. Did anything else change?
Well, I live with his family.
When was that?
Oh, well, no, now.
So you moved with his family?
Mm-hmm. His aunt and his father.
Okay, so you moved into a new arrangement, okay? And with a feeling of separation, loneliness, and a little desperation. A little bit.
I don't know about desperate.
Well, why are you calling?
Oh, well, because I'm afraid because I have a child and I don't know what can happen to me because, I mean, we want to be together.
You want to be together? What does be together mean?
Well, he's already asked me to marry him, and I love him a lot, and I want to be with him.
Okay. He wants to marry you after knowing you only since June, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think of that as a statement of his experience and stability?
He's very mature for his age.
Wait a second, stop. You went to the what? Well, you took a little bit off the what. Well, he's, what do you think of it as a statement of his, as it reflects his maturity, him wanting to marry you so quickly?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Just share it.
Oh, well, I don't know. I've asked him if it had to do with not being loved enough by his mom.
Okay, so the question came up in your mind, whether or not the... All right, if the question comes up, the problem usually exists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's some suggestion that his attachment to you is a reflection of another relationship that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like where this is going, do you?
Mm-mm.
You're closing up right on me, just like... Okay, but you knew that. And you were set up because you'd been rejected. So the two of you are using each other. I mean, if you were having... I'm not going to pass moral judgment on the situation. If you were a 28-year-old woman calling me in and saying, I'm having an affair with a 16-year-old kid, it's my little caprice, and I'm reliving my youth, and it's all above board, and we all know what it is, I'd say, well, at least you know what you're doing, and you're playing with fire a little bit, and is life that boring that you're trying out something like that? But, you know, everyone to his own tastes. That's not what this is. It's you being lonely, you being rejected, him not being treated well by his mother, and finding you a replacement, and you finding him a replacement of any kind to make up for the feelings of loss that you have. Okay, you don't like this at all. You're choking up on me. Talk to me, come on.
Mm-hmm. It's not really me being lonely, and me just, I mean, because his father's in love with me too, and it's like I'm really confused.
Well, you're really over your head.
Yeah.
And the only reason all these people could be in love with you is that you're sending out desperate signals, as you have done in the past, right?
Possibly.
Is that true or not?
It's possible.
Is it true or not?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Okay, then admit the truth that you know. There's no sense in life saying it's possible or maybe it's so or I don't know. Say it's true, okay? So you are a needy person who needs other people. That's what we've just established, isn't that correct? Okay. You're in trouble.
Yep.
Okay. You don't belong in that household, and you don't belong with this 16-year-old. You have a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Were you ever married?
No.
Okay. How old's the kid?
He's 8.
8 years old. So you were 20 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
I'm an administrative secretary.
Uh-huh. So you have your stuff together at work and not at all in your private life.
Mm-hmm.
Was your neediness one of the factors that caused your roommates to kick you out?
No. No, her and her other roommate became lesbians, and they just wanted their time together.
Okay.
So.
Was that a problem for you?
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Tori,
Mm-hmm.
this relationship is going to come to grief, and your life needs to be straightened out. What's the matter living by yourself, having your own place, and having a life that you're in control of rather than being at the whims of uncontrolled wild feelings? I mean, you're calling because it's troubling you. Let me just tell you what the problem is. You're a person who has great difficulty admitting what you know. You know this is wrong, right? Can you say that louder so I...
Yes.
Okay, so if you know it's wrong, stop it. You don't get clues emotionally in life much clearer than that. And the problems you're having are that you're hearing your inner voice tell you, this isn't wrong, I shouldn't be doing this, and you're looking for some excuse so that you don't have to give up the affection that you're getting. when you come from desperation, not only can you lose the relationship you have, but you can lose the relationship you have with yourself. Tough, huh? Dottie.
It's interesting that people call up and they know the answer lots of times, and they just need to hear you say it.
The truth is, everybody knows the answer all the time. And I was talking to someone the other day about something that happened during a session with a patient, and the patient mentioned the fact about her husband drinking. Didn't say he had a drinking problem, he just said he had a drink. And it was amazing, because the next time she mentioned it, I said, if she's mentioning it twice, if she's mentioning it once, he must be an alcoholic. And she knew this, but couldn't admit it. The fact is, we know everything. And if we were just willing to look at our lives a little more openly, we could solve all of our problems as they occurred. It's when you are invested in not knowing that things that they fall apart. You got someone else for me, I can tell by the look.
Yeah, I have Joe, who has a problem I think that's pretty common in this town particularly. He's on line number 12.
Joe.
Dr. Viscott.
Hi, Joe. How old are you?
25.
What's the problem?
I'm very much infatuated with a certain celebrity, and I've gone to the point of hiring a private detective to find out where this celebrity lives. And
This is a woman?
no,
And what's the purpose of this?
I don't know. That's why I'm calling you. So maybe you could tell me. I've done a lot of soul searching, and I haven't been able to come to any conclusion as
Okay.
to why I do this.
You're infatuated with a male celebrity. Are you gay?
I don't know.
You don't know. Are you in any relationship at all?
No.
And what is it you're infatuated with?
Well, I don't know, his look, his attitude.
Go ahead.
I saw him recently perform. I don't know, it just did something to me.
Is he a musician?
No, he's a radio personality, almost, sort of.
Who are you talking about?
Howard Stern.
And you're infatuated with him?
Yes.
Tell me what the infatuation is.
Well, I saw him dressed up in a costume as Bartman.
Uh-huh. What's going on behind you? I hear some noise.
Nothing. I don't know, I just...
Come on, you're not being fully open with this. What was the thing that got you attracted to him?
I don't know, his honesty.
All right.
I mean, he says he has a small penis, and it really turns me on.
That turns you on.
Yeah.
Is this legitimate?
Yes.
How do I know?
I don't know. What can I tell you?
Is it the fact that he can talk about having a small penis?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I know I need a lot of help.
Well, do you say that in a cavalier way? I know I need a lot of help. Or have you had other problems in your life that made you feel that that's true?
I don't know. I mean, right now I'm like shaking.
Right now?
Yeah. I don't know what that means. That just bothers me a lot.
Okay. What are you doing in your life? What's your life about?
I do nothing.
Okay, that's a very good indication of why you might be stuck. How do you feel about your own honesty?
I feel good. I mean, I'm being honest now.
I know, and you're so honest that I wasn't sure whether you were putting me on.
No, I don't know. I mean, I try to be honest, but meanwhile, I know I'm screwed up in the head somehow.
All right, all right. When you say that you know you're screwed up in the head, what exactly do you mean?
I just have strange thoughts all the time.
All right, strange thoughts. Besides Howard Stern, what else?
Well, just everything I do just seems to be very compulsive.
What kind of compulsive things do you do?
Everything, from smoking cigarettes to anything I do, I just take it to the extreme.
Okay. Let me make a leap and see where we go with it, okay?
Yeah.
Compulsive behavior is nothing more than the mind's attempt to deal with feelings of hurt that have not been held close and managed. So my guess is that somewhere in your life you've suffered either an abandonment or someone has really injured you.
More than once.
Go ahead, what were you saying?
I'll say more than once.
Okay, but the first one was what?
The first abandonment.
The first real big abandonment.
Well, I was given up as a child.
That
As
at what age?
I was an infant. But, that's something I don't even remember.
But where did you go after that?
Well, I was adopted.
Okay, and at what age?
1 year.
Uh-huh. And what was that relationship with your adoptive parents like?
It was rocky.
How? What made it rocky?
It's just a very dysfunctional family.
And when you think of the family and the source of the pain, who do you see in your mind's eye?
As the source of the pain.
Yeah.
My father.
And how did he treat you?
Strict.
Strict how?
I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things.
So you felt controlled.
Very much so, yeah.
When a child feels controlled and not loved, they have often the feeling that no matter what they say, they're going to be defeated. That you won't be able to argue or reason with this powerful force who's your father. And as a result, what you do is you internalize that hurt and you go and engage in fantasies constantly of either retaliation or of power. What you could do, how you could redeem yourself, how you could succeed or show him. Does that sound like you?
Yes.
And that is the beginning of compulsive behavior.
What do I do about this?
You got to go see someone. It's your time, you know. You know, when you're having a lot of compulsive symptoms like this, whether it's picking your face or constantly...
Well, I do that too. I mean, I haven't never stopped. I've been biting my nails as long as I
I was
remember.
about to say that. I mean, you have all of these compulsive activities, and what you need to do is you need to find a way to get the courage to get into therapy and to see someone about it. These are treatable issues, and it requires a commitment on your part because your life isn't working, and if your life isn't working, you're always going to feel defeated, and in that defeat, you're going to have a sense that there is no way out, and that will increase the hurt, anger, and abandonment and make the compulsion worse. Stay on, we're going to get some help for you. I told you we're back. Interesting calls. Well, there's only one call we're missing. It's yours. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's live tonight. I just have to know that. Dottie.
I'm here.
Okay, who do you have?
On line 14, I have Catherine, who has got a real problem with two lovers.
Catherine. Are you there, Catherine?
Yes, I am, David.
What a voice. You have to speak up.
Okay, I've been crying a lot, so
That would
please,
explain it.
please bear with me.
How old are you, Catherine?
I'm 32-year-old.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, David, I've been married for 12 years. I have a 10-year-old son who has a mental disorder. Also, I've been involved in a relationship, a lesbian relationship, for 5 years now. And I'm very confused.
What do you mean you're confused? What's confusing you at this moment?
At this point, I have to make a choice.
Why at this point? What makes this point so strong?
Because of my lover, my lesbian lover, is requesting some sort of choice from me.
What do you mean requesting? That's a
She
strange...
gave me an ultimatum.
An ultimatum is not a request.
Well, let me just put it to you like this, basically. She wants me to leave my husband, and that's why I'm very confused. Because I don't feel that I should leave my husband.
Do you love him?
It's hard to say, David.
Do you love her?
Yes, I do, very much.
Okay. It's hard to say with one.
Yes,
It's easy to say with the other.
exactly.
Okay.
And that's the confusing part about it.
What's confusing? How does this relate to your 10-year-old son?
He's unaware of my relationship.
Is your husband aware of your relationship?
Yes, he is.
How does he feel about it?
Well, that's confusing also because I feel that he's not being honest with his feelings.
And if he were honest, what would he say?
What would he say?
Yeah.
I would hope that he would agree what I am doing.
He would agree that you should leave.
Exactly.
If he were honest, that's what he would. But that's not true. Well, you just distorted this. All right. If he were really honest about his feelings, he would say, "I want you to break up with this woman and stay with me."
Well, like I said,
isn't that what he feels?
in a way, yes, he does.
Okay.
But he should understand.
Wait.
He should understand.
Understand what?
What I am going through and why I am in this relationship.
He does understand it, and for that reason, he's not taking a stand because he knows if he took a stand, you're out of there. If he said, "You stop seeing this woman right now," what would you do?
I wouldn't.
And then he'd say, "If you don't see her, you get the hell out of this marriage." What would you do?
That's the part that I'm confused
What would you
about.
do if he said, "You get the hell out of here if you're not going to stop seeing this woman"? What would you do?
David, I
What
have
would you
to be
do?
honest. I have to say that I would leave.
Okay. So that's what you want to do, and that's what he would like to do, but he's too insecure and too dependent on you.
And it's not only that. Just recently, I found out, and George admitted that he was involved in a gay relationship for about a month.
But what does that have to do with you?
I feel that he should understand that I have this person in my life since he wasn't there for me, and since he has a relationship with the opposite sex, so I feel basically that he should understand.
And if he understood, what would he do? He'd let you stay there as long as you want till you can make your decision?
Yes.
That's what he's doing.
At this point, I'm worried because his attitude has changed.
Since when?
Since about, I would say, a month and a half.
And when did your lover make her demand?
Couple of weeks.
Okay.
And also, I must mention that I just basically got out of the closet, and that's one reason.
What do you mean you basically got out of the closet? You've been out of the closet for 5 years.
Not openly. I was not an open lesbian.
Well, you were open in your heart to this other person. That's coming out. I mean, there are a lot of people who are overtly homosexual in their relationships who don't go up and down Hollywood Boulevard and say, "I'm gay." I mean, that doesn't mean anything. All right. What you're dealing with is a piece of unreality, okay?
Yes.
You have to do what's right for you. Are you worried about your 10-year-old son and his reaction? What's his mental disorder?
He's mentally retarded.
Okay. Your son is only concerned that people love him and take care of him, okay?
Yes.
Okay. And he's happy if you're happy. He takes his signals from you. Right now, he's picking up confusion, so he's feeling confused. You need to follow your heart. If you have no doubt that you love this woman, then you belong with this woman. This is a fragmented relationship with your husband, and the only reason you're staying with him is because you think you should. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Follow your heart. It's telling you something. And if you could establish a relationship where you're happy, you're living like this, then things will work out. Your husband just wants to hold it together, but the fact is he's not being forthright. He's so afraid of losing you, he can't truly be honest. And that's really where you're stuck. A little more honesty on your part, I think, will do the whole thing. And, you know, I think one of the things that's also a problem is that in the coming out phase of this and going public, your going with this woman would be the final act of declaring yourself. So that may be the thing that's holding you back, not the rightness of the relationship.
So many choices these days. It makes it
There is
harder.
a lot of choices for a lot of people, but for some of us, there are not many choices.
I think you have to go to commercial now.
Is that what I have to do?
Yeah.
You're acting like a producer, not like a screener. This is what I'm going to have to do. I'm controlled by a woman in red hair in a booth. I should call myself. I'll be right back. David Viscott, and you're getting a look at the way things work around here. And sometimes that's, well, it's great. I think I love it when things are transparent. I like to demystify things.
I think it's really interesting,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
I think that there might be a theme tonight. Obsession. Talk to Tony on line 15.
That's right, there is an obsession. And each obsession so far has been to avoid another feeling. Okay. Line what?
Line 15.
Tony? Tony.
Hi,
Hi, Tony.
how are you doing?
I'm good. How old are you, Tony?
29.
What's going on?
Well, there's a female in my life
Okay.
who keeps trying to push me into a romantic relationship.
What's wrong with that?
She's 63 years old.
Explain.
All right. Sure you want to hear this?
Oh, you called, pal.
Okay.
It's your dime, my obligation.
All right. She's actually. I'd just like to have her as a friend because she seems to have been a good friend, and recently I found out that she's obsessed with me.
Okay. How far has this relationship gone? Let's just establish the groundwork.
Well, we've never had sex or anything like that, but she has seduced me to, making out and kissing and heavy petting and stuff like that, and it's gotten to the point where I'm really leery of just being around her because she is seductive. She's a seductive woman for 63, and she doesn't look like she's 63 at all. Her body looks like she's in her 20s, and her face looks like she's in her 40s.
You're sexually involved with a 63-year-old woman.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Just because you haven't gone all the way doesn't mean that it's not. These aren't the kisses that you would give your mother, right?
No.
I mean, that's the definition, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How old is your mother, by the way?
That is a funny question. She's 63.
Gosh. Why?
She is 63.
She's 63.
Yeah. That is a funny question.
It's a funny question. If we named a lipstick color after this interchange, we'd call it Blushing Oedipus.
Well, I'm probably blushing right now.
I gathered that. Gee, your mother's 63 and the woman's. Do you? Let me phrase it as obliquely as I can. Is there a possible relationship between the two?
Well, I don't think so. No, and
I
obviously,
don't think so.
no.
I'll write that down in my book of denial. Doesn't think there's a relationship. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that she's got pictures up on her wall of me, and I've been in her place when she's not been there, and I've seen her diary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Well, it's kind of scary because it's not exactly, it's not as intense as. She's not as intense in real life as her diary is. And,
How many of us are?
Well,
what is the thing about the diary that scares you, which is what I'm picking up?
all the diary talks about is me. every little nuance that I say, every little thing that I've ever done, is in the diary, and it's so scary. And then you see all these pictures on the wall, you know.
What does she think of you?
She adores me. She loves me. I'm in the music profession, and she's seen me on stage, you know, quite a bit, and she's never come off as, you know, I can usually tell whenever somebody's acts like a dizzy fan, you know. She's never come off like this.
So you never could tell that she was acting like that?
Yeah, but reading her diary and seeing the way she lives, and
she's right out there, right?
Sounds me. It kind of looks like that.
Okay. So how do you feel about all this?
Well, the thing is that I thought we had a kind of a neat friendship, but it's just she keeps pushing and pushing.
Let me ask you a tough question.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Let's just say that you were visiting your mom, and you found pictures in her bedroom of a guy around 25 to 30, and you opened up her diary, and it contained passages similar to the diary of your friend. How would you feel?
Well,
It's a different view, isn't it, suddenly?
yeah, I mean...
Go ahead. How would you feel?
Well, I'd be concerned, of course, for my mom.
For your mom?
Yeah.
What would you be concerned about?
If she's ill.
Isn't that interesting? Is that the feeling you had when you read the diary of this lady?
Yes.
And if she were ill, what would be the forces of her illness that are directing her towards this behavior? Psychiatric question, folks, in case you didn't know.
I would say part of it would be her religion, because I know that...
Her religion? What are you talking about?
Well, her religion specifically states that women aren't... they don't have a real identity unless they're linked with a man. They don't have their mission and their self-esteem is based on what the man makes of them, of the woman.
Oh, wait a second. So why would you have a concern about their religious values? Because you're using this woman?
No, I'm not. I just wanted to start out as friends, and then it just evolved.
Okay. But the point is, you're in that place now.
Yeah.
Whether you want to be there or not, she has taken you there. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you want to do with this? Do you want this to continue?
I don't want... I want her to stop, and this is strange, because my entire life is controlled. I have controlled every part of my life. I'm single, and I've been able to just control everything, and this is the one thing I always had a problem with, and that's relationships. And
let's start from the truth, okay? Your life is not controlled. Can we start there? Your telephone could go off right now behind you, and it could be the biggest misery that you ever had, right? There is none of us who is more than one telephone call away from total chaos, right? Mm-hmm. Your life is not controlled. That's a self-delusion. And one of the things that you're dealing with here is a need to be adored. By the way, how do you get along with your mom?
Oh, pretty well.
Oh, pretty well. That's not great, in other words.
Well, we've had our fights, you know, in the past about stuff, and
as a kid, how did she treat you?
She was a little controlling, but I kind of I fought it,
and did not win.
Not all the time.
No. When you have a controlling mother, one of the things that's being controlled is the love that you're getting. And I suspect that in the relationship with your mother, you felt that the love you got was rationed. You were rewarded for doing good rather than for being you.
Yeah.
And this woman offered you unconditional love, but it turned out the condition that promoted her loving you was a condition of obsessiveness. So you went from conditioned love from love that was generated by a psychopathological condition. You lost twice, pal. You got to get out of it.
I don't know how to do it because I don't want to hurt her friend. I don't want to hurt her.
You have to hurt her.
Because she's like a friend, and
But you're not being a friend to her. She has a delusional system involving you, and you're feeding it. How can that be a kind act? The longer you stay with her, the higher her expectations.
it's true.
The more seductive you allow her to be, the more you empower her. How can that be kind?
The more seductive I allow her to be.
The more...
I've tried to put up the barriers, but she just keeps coming and coming. I really have.
You're empowering her. Next time, maybe she'll bed you.
She's done that before.
It's time to cut the relationship.
Just cut it?
You wouldn't be calling unless you wanted me to tell you that to begin with, right?
Well,
Cough.
I didn't want to. I don't want to.
Hurt her. I know that. But you want permission to get out of there. You'd like to snap your fingers and make this completely friends again and have her be just a nice older friend.
Right.
Right. You can't get that. You've already trespassed. You have to cut it. I'm just telling you like a friend. Come on. You want to marry the woman?
No.
You want to have sex with her?
No. I mean, sometimes
You're confused.
Well, she
I know.
rubs against me, and she
I know.
gives me the.
I know.
It's.
And in some strange way, she's safer than the young girls, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're hiding behind her. Her apron strings, so to speak, are attached to you. You're hiding behind her skirts. It's time to cut. Sometimes you have to cut in order to be free, and sometimes you have to cut the thing you love. As a matter of fact, in order to be free, you always have to cut away from something you need and something you love. Because when you go inward and find your internal strength, you stand alone. Stay with us. We're going to help you stand alone. No, we're going to take a next call. Dottie, who's the next call?
I have Kim on line 12, David. Her husband is a minister, but he seems to be having some problems with his job description.
What a pregnant thought that is. Kim,
Yes.
can you speak up, please?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Your husband's a minister?
Yes.
What's going on? I don't quite get it.
Well, my daughter discovered after overhearing a phone conversation that he was having an affair, and
He's not even discreet, huh?
no, he's been calling from our house quite often.
How old is your daughter?
She's 13.
So he's not even protecting her from this.
No.
See, that's the concern. Look, if that's going on, it means that he's on the edge of something. This is more complicated than this. What else is going on?
Well, I discovered through another phone call that he was not only involved in this affair, but actually involved in yet another affair.
Okay, that's what's going on. All right, so he's out of control.
Yes, he also has a gambling problem.
He's way out of control. He's a minister.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of a gambling problem?
He deals in baseball cards and in the stock market and anything that he can put money into, actually. I mean, he's had antique postcards, he's had dimes and rare coins.
He's obsessed with making, he's obsessional.
Yes, very.
Okay. Have you confronted him?
Yes.
What was that like?
He denies everything.
What did you say to him?
Well, I confronted him with his boss, and we had all of the paperwork. I went down and searched his car one night and found his whole trunk full of baseball card paraphernalia and canceled checks and
Paraphernalia? What do you mean paraphernalia?
well, the cards and books, 2-inch thick books on how to work baseball cards for income.
Mm-hmm.
He's also been gambling in Vegas quite a bit.
What does he gamble with? What is his choice? Cards, slot machines, dice, what?
Well, I think he plays something at a table.
Okay, could be roulette.
And the machines, he loves roulette machines.
Yeah. Okay, you got an obsessed, compulsive husband. Well, and he's a minister?
Mm-hmm. And he was the director of our denomination's seminary. He's very visible, and he's very, I don't know.
Tainted.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a sick guy. And he's way out of control. Does he drink?
Not that I know of.
Does he use drugs?
Not that I know of, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Okay. And what's more, you're falling out of love with him.
It's gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So what are you going to do about this?
Well, my struggle comes when my denomination will tell him that he can have his ministry if he will repent and go through this 2-year restoration period, but they won't let me continue mine.
Continue your what?
My particular ministry.
Explain.
I work with kids and run direct summer camps
Why won't they let you do it?
because I want to file for divorce.
So they're punishing you, and what a sexist denomination.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I can say that because you haven't said anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And what a self-serving denomination.
Mm-hmm.
And what a totally unfair thing this is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then again, religion is a man's world, right?
Yep. And see, the other part of this is that I've got a mother who likes to call one of his girlfriends and make threatening phone calls and talk to her children, and
How does your mother know about all this?
because my mother and I were very close at one point.
But now your mother's out of control.
Very.
Gosh, I mean, this is a soap opera.
Well, you don't even know the half of it.
Give me the other half.
His second girlfriend called me and said that we were in a sisterhood of the betrayed.
Because he's messing around on him. Her too.
Mm-hmm.
Was she referring to the other girl that your daughter overheard?
Yes.
So, well, there's no, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Maybe the two of you could unite forces.
I don't think so.
No, the church is too powerful.
Yeah.
You're never going to get what you want out of them.
No. But see, what hurts me is that I'm having a real tough time just trying to hang on. I mean, I've got 3 kids. I've got 2 other little girls, and they're torn. And they, I mean, their dad was their link to not only life but their God.
Well, the fact is, he's a dishonest human being, as all compulsive people are.
And so, what do I tell these 2 little girls who love their daddy?
You tell them the truth. The daddy's not being honest. That he's gambling. That he's not sincere, and that he's not religious, and that you can't live with that. But you can't prolong the misery, and you can't allow this to get deeper and deeper. And if you get in a fight against this religious sect, just my experience with fighting religions is that they get so defensive and heavy-handed that they make everybody's life miserable, and there's no revenge except for you living away from this man in a life that is honest, where you can be loved for yourself, and you will be able, if you do that, to work with children in some other guise, and you don't need to call it a ministry. You can just work with children, and your work and its excellence determines the ministry quality of the thing. Hypocrisy reigneth in the land.
Well, that obsession thing is really true tonight, isn't it? I mean, almost every call has been something about obsession.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to judge that, but we ought to talk a bit about obsession, because when people become obsessed, it's usually to avoid thinking about something else that hurts. And this woman that I just spoke with, she must have been falling out of love with him for a long time before this, and his obsession must have been about his insecurity. I mean, anyone who needs two girlfriends and a wife and a gambling problem and to be an avid collector of a lot of things, she sounds like a person that could not accept any truth about himself or the fact that he was losing his own personal power.
But in your advice to her, when you said that she had to talk to her daughters and tell them the truth, that's probably, of all the stuff that you told her, from my own experience, I know that that must be the hardest part, is to talk to your children and say things that are so painful.
Well, because it means you're making it real. If you're telling me this now, it means this is why you're acting. Kids appreciate the truth. They can live with the truth. They cannot live with a lie. Do they want me to break now?
I think I want you to go to commercial now.
Yeah, see, I'm being controlled by this woman. I don't know whether I like this, but I'll do it. Commercial, coming right back after this. Do I sound like a professional? Good. So, Dottie, you like doing this?
It keeps you busy.
Good, I like to see it. This is aerobic television, folks. Who's next?
On line 13, Monica, she's got a real problem with her fiancé.
Monica.
He's not really a fiancé.
Okay, then we've solved one of your problems. Or is that the problem?
No, that's not the problem. I've been listening to you, and you said that we all know the answers to our problems, and having thought about it, I might have it figured out. But,
Okay. What's the problem?
Well, he's a man that I had just started seeing before he seemed to disappear, and then I found out that he ended up in jail.
For what?
Drug trafficking, to put it in a nutshell.
Okay.
And I was just thinking, as a lark, I suggested in the last letter to him that we get married so that he can have conjugal visits, but I'm thinking about it more and more seriously, and I'm questioning myself, why would you want to marry a man who's in prison?
Okay, there's a whole thing here, right? What went on in your head when you made that request in the letter?
Well,
As a lark, that hit me like boing.
I was just goofing around. It's like, I feel sorry.
No, you weren't goofing around. You wrote it in a letter. Now you're calling me up. What was his response to "Let's get married"?
I only mailed it off a couple of days ago. I haven't heard from him yet. But
that's heavy duty. Come here. Let me talk to you. Come here. That's heavy duty stuff. Saying to a guy, how much time is he doing?
He's looking toward 5 to 10 years.
Someone 5 to 10 years who says, "Let's have a relationship so we can do conjugal visits."
Yeah.
That's heavy duty stuff. And that's also a way of having a man in a relationship that you can have complete control over, right?
In a way. Yeah, I've been listening to you talk about control. And
In a way.
well, I would feel secure knowing that he's not cheating on me.
Ah, but there's another aspect of having a guy behind bars.
Oh?
Because you know what he's thinking about.
Me?
He's obsessed with you. When is she coming up again? When will I see her? How will we do it?
Well, I really don't know about that. Like I said,
I do.
recently started.
I used to work in a prison.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Talk about obsession. Prison is a building in which obsession is held. Right?
Right.
Right. So it gives you control and mastery over a situation. Have you ever been married?
No.
Have you ever been with a guy that you were really committed with?
I thought I was, but apparently he wasn't committed.
Ah, so that's where you suffered the hurt that now you wish to retaliate and control.
every relationship I've suffered hurt, and this was the first man that I'd met that was genuinely nice and sweet to me, but then he ends up in prison.
But this is a way to keep him from messing around.
Well, also, I don't believe that marijuana should be illegal, and I don't think he should be locked up and be deprived of
That
these
may
things.
well be, but he's doing 5 to 10, and the dynamics are that that's not a normal relationship. And as a lark, you set that in. Are you going to follow this up with a non-lark letter?
Well, I just want to see what his reaction is.
Why do you want to see what that's called? Toying with another person's emotions.
Well, the whole thing is, if he said, yeah, it sounds like a good idea, and he still has a lot of money and can support me, I think it's a very good arrangement because I don't have a job right now. And I hate L.A. I'm dying to move.
Wow. It's right out there on your sleeve. Money, hate L.A., and you don't work.
Right.
So you'll use him for his money.
And he'll use me for my body.
What would we call that arrangement?
I don't want to say that word because
Well,
I don't
say
like
it.
to look at it that way.
Well, you just put the ingredients together. I'm just setting them up.
How can there be prostitution between friends?
Well, you certainly wouldn't want to be with an unfriendly prostitute, would you?
Well, aren't most relationships like
They
this
usually
anyway?
call you honey, by the way.
Pardon?
What? Aren't most relationships what?
Aren't most relationships a matter of sex for support anyway?
How did you get so crass? Whatever happened to you in your life that you see the world in those terms? Monica, Monica, Monica.
I've been used.
That's
and it's
what-
about time for me to get something out
So-
of it if every man looks at me as something that they can play with.
No. That's not true. You project you can play with me to every man. And if they have
But not this one. Before he went to jail, we were... this was one that was actually very friendly. I mean, we went out several times and
You
probably
mean
had
the
sex.
others who you let use you were not friendly and were overtly mean?
No, I mean genuinely nice and caring.
You mean the others were
relationships-
genuinely not nice and caring?
The others were I'll spend time with you and I don't have something better to do.
You mean you can't tell the difference between when you're being used and when you're being cared for? Are you that desperate? I'm just asking. I mean, I don't have a charge on this. Monica, you can be whatever you want in life. I'm happy for you. But you're calling up because you're not happy for yourself. Just
But
as
do
a
you
lark.
think it's a bad idea to, whatever my motives may be, to
I
marry
think it
someone who's in
sucks.
prison?
Monica, it's dumb. It's you taking over the position of control that you felt people have had over you all your life. It's reversal of fortunes, and you said it. Isn't it about time? You use those words, right? Right?
Reversal of fortune?
Oh, there you have it, kiddo. So you're going to lead him on, and you're going to go for the...
No, I really like him. I thought there would be a future in this relationship.
Oh, Monica, what are you doing to me?
No, honestly, if this had not happened, I thought there was a future.
Maybe you did, but now you're really proposing marriage.
Yeah.
If he was doing 20 to life, maybe you'd get married tomorrow.
Well, I also want to be taken off the market, as it were. I'm tired of being available. I'm tired of being single. I just,
Yeah, but you're being taken off the market by someone who's off the market himself.
it sounds fine to me because I always said I want to marry a man who'll be gone all the time.
Monica, you are the ice princess.
No, I'm very nice. Come on.
Well, but you like isolation, you like control, you like to be on top, you like all those things, and
Actually, I
you're
don't like to be on top.
No, on top of the situation.
I was
Monica,
looking-
clean up your act. Monica, listen to me. You've been hurt, and what you want to do is control the level of being hurt. Tell him that it was a lark and let him off the hook, because all you're going to do is stir him up, get in over your head, and the next call, it's going to be even more desperate. Monica, you're 28. Maybe it's time you did grow up a little bit, huh? Maybe it's time we all grew up a little bit. We're coming back with another great hour of original stuff live. I love this. Stay with me.